With older games like Super Mario 3D All-Stars and Skyward Sword HD selling rather well, a lot of hardcore Sonic fans have been fiending for Sega to put some of Sonic's classic games onto modern consoles. So, naturally, Sega decided to give Sonic Colors the old HD treatment, along with yet another compilation for the old 16-bit games, cause why wouldn't they? Sega likes money. However, even though pretty much everybody's happy with Sonic Colors Ultimate, there are a few people out there who are wondering why Sega wouldn't add a few more Sonic games and make it a compilation like Nintendo did for Mario's anniversary. But if you ask my wacky ass, I don't really blame Sega for holding back a little bit. So crack open a can of non-alcoholic horse milk and allow me, YouTube's strongest full-grown man, Cameron all one word, to tell you why Sega's not too keen on releasing too many 3D Sonic games anytime soon. Alright, so to make a short story even shorter, Sonic Colors is Sega's chosen one because it's probably the one 3D game that most people would agree is pretty solid. And while a lot of us hardcore fans may have a soft spot for the adventure games, the truth is that they really haven't aged all that well if you don't have nostalgia for them. And like, yeah, you could argue that Sega still should have tossed them onto a disc or cartridge as an option to sweeten the pot, but if the average modern-day gamer would probably hate 2/3 of a compilation then, Sega probably just figured less is more. I mean, Mario 64 didn't age perfectly, but there's no real argument that you can make that it's a bad game, so it could only really strengthen any compilation it's on. Now, I know that a lot of people are gonna bare-ass spray fart in the comments because I'm saying Sonic Adventure didn't age well, but, like, I literally faked sick to go home from school one day and play it well after I 100%ed it, so don't you dare go around spreading propaganda that I hate these games. All I'm saying is that if the reviews from the 2010 and 2012 HD remakes buried these games, then I can't imagine that 2021 would be any kinder, and if Sega's gonna try to finally restore Sonic's reputation, then they shouldn't be putting anything out that isn't at least good. Like I said earlier, Sonic Colors seems to be the game that nobody really had a bad word for, so if you haven't played it yourself, then you really ought to check it out. I mean, at least if you have any interest in Sonic the Hedgehog whatsoever anyway. Although, if I'm being honest, I don't see myself buying it, at least not anytime soon anyway, partially because I already beat the game on the Wii, but mainly because if Sega's involved, then we all know that the game's gonna be $20 in less than a year, and probably even $10 whenever there's a sale or something on Black Friday and days like that. So if you're only gonna buy it for the sake of adding it to your collection, then for the love of God, save some money and wait a little bit, because I promise you it's not worth your child's lunch money. But even though Sega's probably gonna keep their distance from less polished 3D Sonic games, though, I don't believe for a second that we're never gonna see any of them ever again. Honestly, it wouldn't even surprise me if it just popped up on Nintendo's Eshop before too long. I just don't think it'll happen until Sonic's reputation's a little bit better. For all we know, the next Sonic game's gonna suck a big fat dingus, but I do think that Sega's probably pretty confident in it if they're not gonna toss all the old Sonic games onto the Switch. I mean, sure, Sega likes money, but I think Sonic's reputation being restored a little bit would actually be more lucrative in the long run, or at least that's probably what Sega thinks anyway. Besides, not like people are only gonna buy Sonic Adventure 2 HD right now or anything like that. If anything, the longer we wait, the more successful it's gonna end up being, and I mean, if you're a diehard Sonic fan, then you probably already own one of the other versions anyway, and I'd bet that you probably don't even play it very often, so what's the rush? But speaking of rush, I do wish that Sega would have released some of the 2D Sonic games from the Game Boy Advance and DS, cause I kinda feel like even a good chunk of the Sonic fan base never got around to playing these games, which would make them feel a hell of a lot more fresh than Origins releasing the same Genesis games for like the 87th time. Although to be fair, it has been forever since Sonic 3 and Knuckles saw the light of day, cause somehow, someway, Sega had trouble porting it, even though it was in the Mega Collection on the GameCube and PS2 that somehow had even more Sonic games than Origins is gonna. I'm not about to open up the can of worms of porting Sonic 3 and Knuckles here, though, but Player One Pierre made a pretty good video going over all the details if you want to know more. All I know is that if Sega's trying to stick to releasing the good old Sonic titles, then the Advance and Rush games would have been way more fresh than the Genesis ones that everybody's already played like 87 times. As for the 3D series, though, Colors is definitely the perfect game to give the spotlight to, since most people who played it at the very least thought it was pretty good, and since it hasn't been seen since the days of the Wii, there's still enough people out there who've never played it, which pretty much makes it a new Sonic game to them, and for those who have played it, I think enough time's passed to where they might want to check it out one more time. Don't forget, though, it's Sega we're talking about here, so the game's probably going to be 20 bucks before long, so, you know, don't buy it unless you're going to play it right away, or if you're like a billionaire like George Clooney or something. But anyway, that's all for today, though, so if you're new here, then you might get a kick out of my video where Sega makes me cut a broken 3DS cartridge in half for a download code. You'll excuse me, though, I gotta go help my pesky stepdad get out of my neighbor's Iron Maiden again. See you later, crocodile!
So I want to say thank you to your loyalty, thank you for your support.